I don't need your dirty money anymore, get out. My mom's voice cracked through the living room like a whip. Her laughter followed, cruel and sharp, as if my very existence was the joke of the evening. The walls seemed to close in around me, every childhood photo staring at me with hollow eyes, as if even the frames were mocking me. For a moment I stood frozen, my hands trembling, my breath shallow. This was the woman I had once adored, the woman I had worked 2 jobs to support when bills piled high. And yet here she was, spitting venom like I was nothing more than trash cluttering her newly blessed life. Hi everyone, my name is Aurelia, I'm 27 and this was the day my mother's betrayal burned itself into my soul. Do you know that feeling when the ground shifts beneath you and suddenly, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every ounce of love you poured into someone feels like a wasted offering? That was me. Standing in the ashes of a bond one thought was unbreakable. She held the lottery ticket like it was divine scripture, her fingers shaking with glee. She looked at me not like her daughter, but like an obstacle, a shadow she was eager to cast aside. My brother chuckled from the corner, smug as if he had been waiting his entire life for this moment. I wanted to scream. To remind her of the nights I fed her when she was sick, the days I covered rent, the way I swallowed my own hunger so she wouldn't starve. But my throat locked. Betrayal doesn't just cut, it silences. And then, the moment happened. She waved the ticket inches from my face, declaring it her golden key to freedom. My eyes fell on it, scanning the numbers. At first my brain hesitated, unsure. Then it clicked. And I burst out laughing. Not a light laugh, not even a bitter one. This was a raw, uncontrollable laugh that clawed its way out of me. Because what she held in her hand wasn't what she thought it was. And the truth, sharp and shimmering, was about to turn this entire scene upside down. The room fell silent at my laughter, my mom's smirk faltering as she asked, "What's so funny?" I stared at her, eyes blazing, and whispered, "Because that ticket isn't even yours." The silence in the room stretched like a blade between us. My mother's face twitched, her smile stiffening into something brittle. My brother shifted on the couch, his grin faltering as his eyes darted from me to her. "What do you mean it's not mine?" she snapped, her voice breaking in a way that betrayed the first crack in her confidence. I leaned against the wall, suddenly calmer, almost eerily so. It's strange how laughter can clear the fog of betrayal, how it can flip despair into a sharp kind of clarity. "I mean," I said slowly, savoring each word, "that ticket you're waving around like a crown jewel is mine. I bought it. I picked those numbers. I tucked it under the sugar jar because I was going to check it after work." Her face drained of color. My brother's jaw dropped, his smug smirk collapsing into disbelief. I remembered the moment vividly. 2 weeks ago, exhausted from my double shift, I had walked into that same gas station, bought milk, bread, and, on a whim, one single lottery ticket. I almost never did, but something about that night made me pause and scribble down the numbers. My mother never bought tickets. Never. She always said they were a waste of money, until she found mine. "Liar," she hissed, clutching the ticket tighter as if squeezing it would change reality. "Why would you have hidden it in my kitchen if it was yours?" I took a step closer, my eyes locked on hers. "Because I trusted you. Because I thought this house was safe. Because it never once occurred to me that my own mother would steal from me." The room throbbed with tension. My brother muttered under his breath, "This is insane." But even he didn't sound convinced anymore. I could feel the betrayal simmering in my chest, hotter and hotter, but I kept my voice cool, steady, surgical. "Do you really think money makes you untouchable? That it erases every debt, every lie, every time you leaned on me to survive? If that's what you believe, then maybe you've already lost more than you've won." She tried to laugh, but it came out hollow, shaking. "No one will believe you. You're broke. I'll cash this in tomorrow, and by the time you try to fight me, the money will already be mine." I smiled then, not out of humor this time but out of something darker. Something final. "You might want to check the ticket again before you build your kingdom on it." Her hands trembled as she looked down at the numbers. My brother leaned forward, his breath caught. And in that suspended moment, I knew the tides were about to turn. Her eyes scanned the ticket once, twice, then a third time as if sheer repetition could bend the ink to her will. I watched her lips move silently, counting the numbers, matching them to the ones burned into her memory from the news report. And then, the tiniest flinch. "Mom," my brother's voice cracked. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," she snapped, but her grip betrayed her. Her knuckles whitened, her fingers trembling. I could almost hear the sound of her hopes splintering. I stepped closer, my voice low, intimate, like a knife pressed to her throat. The numbers match, don't they? But not the date. She froze. I savored the silence before driving the blade in deeper. That ticket you're holding, the one you ripped from my hiding spot, is last week's draw. Expired. Worthless. I checked it already. Her head jerked up, her eyes wild, denial clawing at her face. My brother blinked in confusion. What are you talking about? The news said. Yes, I cut him off. The news announced the winning numbers this morning. I bought another ticket yesterday. The real one. The winning one. And it's not here. The air left the room. My mother staggered back, her body colliding with the edge of the couch as if the truth had physically struck her. I leaned in, my voice steady but searing. You threw me out, humiliated me, cut me down with your own words. Over a worthless piece of paper. While the real fortune sat safely folded in my wallet. Her mouth opened, but no words came. My brother's face turned pale, the arrogance melting into something pitiful, almost afraid. I could have left it there. I could have turned and walked away, ticket in hand, victory sealed. But something in me, something poetic, something cold, wanted her to stew in that silence. So I whispered almost gently, you didn't just lose money tonight. You lost me. You lost the one person who kept you afloat when the world didn't care if you sank. Her eyes glistened, but pride held back the tears. She clutched the expired ticket like it was still her salvation, refusing to let it go. I turned toward the door, each step deliberate, my heart steady. And as I reached for the handle, I heard her choke out, Aurelia, wait. I didn't look back. I just let the silence hang heavy and unmerciful before stepping into the night air. The lottery wasn't the prize anymore. Her downfall was. The night air bit against my skin, but it felt cleaner than the suffocating poison I had left behind. For the first time in years, I breathed without her shadow pressing down on me. The real ticket rested in my wallet, a silent promise of freedom, but it wasn't the money that made me smile. It was the knowledge that she had burned every bridge for nothing. Behind me the door burst open. Aurelia. My mother's voice was frantic now, stripped of arrogance. Her heels clicked hard against the porch, her silhouette trembling under the weak light bulb above the door. You can't just walk away. You can't do this to me. I turned, slow and deliberate, letting her see the calm on my face. Do this to you? Mom, you did this to yourself. Her hands wrung the worthless ticket until it crumpled, paper squealing between her desperate fingers. I made a mistake, okay? I was excited, I wasn't thinking straight. You know how I get when money's involved. Don't punish me for that. Her words clawed at me, but I didn't flinch. I had heard them all before, wrapped around excuses, dripping with manipulation. I wasn't thinking. I didn't mean it. You know me. Each one had been an anchor, keeping me tied to her storms. Not anymore. My brother appeared in the doorway, arms folded, but his eyes betrayed panic. He wanted the money too. Just share it, Aurelia. Stop being selfish. Mom's right, you owe us. After everything she's done for you. That broke something in me. A bitter laugh escaped, sharp as glass. Everything she's done? You mean the nights she left me hungry so you could eat? The time she called me useless because I couldn't bring in enough? Or do you mean tonight, when she kicked me out the second she thought I had nothing left to give? My brother's mouth snapped shut. Mom's lips quivered, searching for another angle. Please, she whispered, and for the first time I saw it. Not strength, not control, but fear. The fear of losing the golden leash she thought she wrapped around me. I stepped down from the porch, the gravel crunching under my shoes like punctuation. You didn't lose the money, Mom. You lost me. And unlike money, you can't buy me back. Her breath hitched, but I didn't wait for her reply. I walked into the darkness, letting her desperation echo behind me. As the distance grew, so did my resolve. The ticket wasn't just a chance at wealth. It was the final severing of chains I never realized had been choking me all along. But little did I know she wasn't going to let me go that easily. I should have known peace was too much to hope for. By the next morning my phone buzzed with relentless calls. Her number, my brother's, even unknown ones. I ignored them all, sipping bitter coffee as sunlight streamed across the cracked kitchen counter of my tiny apartment. For once, silence felt like armor. But then came the knock. Loud. Insistent. I opened the door to find her standing there, dressed not in desperation this time, but in calculation. Her makeup perfect, her posture straight, the expired ticket tucked neatly into her purse as if it still meant something. "Aurelia," she said smoothly, her voice now sweetened with rehearsed warmth. "Let's talk. We're family. Families don't let money come between them." I leaned against the doorframe, arms folded. "Funny. Last night you let money kick me out of my own home." Her smile twitched, but she pressed on. "I was overwhelmed. Can't you see that? But now we can make things right. I already spoke with a lawyer. He said it doesn't matter whose name is on the ticket. Since you live under my roof, any winnings could be argued as shared household property." Her words hit like ice water. My fists clenched. She had moved from betrayal to strategy overnight. "You want to steal from me legally," I said, my voice low. "No," she replied quickly, too quickly. "I want us to share. Think about it. This is too much for you alone. You wouldn't know what to do with all that money. You've never handled responsibility well." The insult was a knife, deliberate, twisting. My pulse throbbed in my ears, but I kept my face still. "Get off my doorstep," I whispered. Her smile cracked at the edges. "If you walk away from me, Aurelia, I will ruin you. I'll tell everyone you stole the ticket from me. I'll drag you through court until you're broke. Do you really think anyone will believe you over me?" For a moment the old fear stirred, the child inside me who had always bent under her weight. But then something steadier rose to the surface. A quiet, unshakable truth. I stepped closer, my eyes locked on hers. "The difference between you and me, Mom, is that I don't need anyone to believe me. The lottery office will. Because the ticket is registered under my name. My ID. My purchase. Not yours." Her breath caught. She hadn't expected that. I shut the door in her face, the slam echoing like a gunshot. My hands trembled, but not with fear, with resolve. She wasn't done. But neither was I. And the next move would be mine. By the end of that week I knew she wouldn't back down. My mother had always thrived on control, on twisting stories until people pitied her and blamed me. But this time I refused to play the quiet daughter swallowing her shame. If she wanted a war, I'd bring the battlefield to her. I started small. A call to the lottery office to confirm what I already knew. My ticket, my name, my purchase. Ironclad proof. Then I went further. I gathered every text, every receipt, every transfer I'd made over the years when I bailed her out. Rent, groceries, hospital bills. A silent record of sacrifice she pretended never happened. And then I leaked it. First to close friends who had always believed her lies. Screenshots, bank transfers, photos of the winning ticket itself. My story spread like wildfire. Neighbors whispering, cousins sending me messages like, "We never knew. We're so sorry." The sympathy that used to orbit around her started drifting, piece by piece, to me. Her calls grew uglier. One voicemail snarled, "You think humiliating me will make you strong? You'll regret this, Aurelia." Another tried guilt. "I carried you for 9 months and this is how you repay me?" But the one that struck me most was a low, broken sob, her voice cracking through the static. "Please. Don't take everything from me. You're all I have." For a fleeting second I almost caved. Almost. But then I remembered her laugh as she kicked me out, declaring I was nothing without her. That sound hardened me. So I went bigger. I reached out to a local journalist who had been covering the lottery win. When she asked if I'd like to share my rags to riches story, I agreed, with one condition. The truth had to be told. Every word. And when the article dropped, it wasn't just about a daughter who won the lottery. It was about a daughter who had been robbed, humiliated, and cut off, only to rise anyway. My mom's smiling face was notably absent. Instead, her greed was painted in cold detail, laid bare for everyone to see. The fallout was immediate. Old friends stopped calling her. The neighbors she used to gossip with crossed the street to avoid her. Even my brother, her golden child, stopped defending her as the weight of public shame settled in. For the first time she wasn't the victim. She was the villain. And I was finally free from her story. Or so I thought. Her downfall came faster than even I expected. By the next week, the whispers had turned into open stares, the polite smiles into pointed avoidance. The woman who once strutted down our street as if she owned it now walked with her chin tucked, sunglasses shielding her shame. But she didn't surrender quietly. No, she clawed, desperate like a drowning woman pulling everyone else under with her. She posted online, spinning a new tale. My daughter betrayed me. She stole the winning ticket. I'm the real victim here. For a few hours, a handful of gullible voices believed her. But then the screenshot surfaced. My receipts, her venomous texts, her attempt to kick me out the moment she thought she'd struck gold. The internet turned against her swiftly, brutally. Comments poured in. How could a mother treat her own daughter like that? She had everything and threw it away. This is what greed does. Her account went silent after that. But the humiliation didn't stop online. At the grocery store, I overheard two women whispering as she passed. That's her. The lottery thief. At church, the place she once paraded me as her shame, people shifted away from her pew. Even her closest friends, the ones who'd always echoed her lies, stopped answering her calls. And then came the phone call I'll never forget. Her voice, shaky, almost unrecognizable. Aurelia, she said, pausing as if the word itself tasted bitter. I need you. People won't look at me. They won't listen to me. You've destroyed my life. Are you happy now? I sat there, the receiver pressed to my ear, feeling nothing but a strange, hollow calm. No, Mom, I answered softly. I didn't destroy your life. You did that the moment you chose money over me. Silence. For the first time she had no comeback. And in that silence I felt it, the power shifting fully, irreversibly. But as satisfying as her collapse was, I knew one thing remained. The final closure. The poetic justice that would tie every wound shut once and for all. When I finally held the real winning ticket, I didn't feel rich. I felt free. The money was just paper. The true prize was release from her chains. The truth had already spread. People knew what she'd done. She had no friends left, no sympathy, no power. Just her pride, and even that was crumbling. I saw her once on the street, smaller than I'd ever seen her. She opened her mouth to speak, but I kept walking. No words left, no ties left. Because my justice wasn't the fortune. It was the silence. The peace. The freedom she could never steal. She lost me. And I finally won myself.